Alrighty, I wanted to post a quick video just about this because I was coming across a video that, like a bunch of videos about how to replace your O2 sensor for your Scion TC. But the issue that everyone was like, oh, just remove your cover for your engine, the heat shield. But the issue on my 2005 is they use this bolt right here, that's right here, and it has a nut on it. And because I've removed the cover, these are really easy to pop off. Just put a clip right in here, or like pop that out with a screwdriver, and you can pull the O2 sensor out where it connects here. But the O2 sensor and this part block this from being removed. So I had to go and buy a set of external Torx, E-Torx or star drive socket set, so I can get this bolt out so I can pull this off. I have the one of the sockets for removing your oxygen sensor, but I was having trouble still pulling it out, so it wasn't wanting to come out offhand. So I'm probably going to have to use a other wrench on there. But the issue is I can't pull off the heat sensor unless I remove this bolt, remove this, or the heat shield, remove this bolt, remove this, or bend the heat shield. It didn't want to come off, and I can't get this out right now, and so I had to buy probably an E5, I think, on this thing to remove this is what it should be. So we'll see. Hopefully that fixes it, because if it fixes it, then it's not that complicated to replace this part. You can just use your normal, like unclip this here. I also unclip this one to get access to that, and then also remove this earlier. But otherwise, it's just this stupid bolt. Like newer models don't have an E-Torx bit here. It's just a bolt. You remove it and then the bolt's out. But my stupid Scion doesn't have that, so I can't get the cover off unless I remove that. So we'll see if it works. It should. I'll post in the comments if that's all I have to do. Alrighty, so I posted one video. I'll see if I can combine them into two, otherwise it's just going to be two parts. But the issue I had with this thing, my Scion TC on my 2005, was it used an E-Torx bolt to hold on to this thing with a nut, and you couldn't get the heat shield off without using an E7 E-Torx external socket set. I had to go buy one set just to remove that tiny stupid bolt. I'm going to see if I can replace it with another regular bolt, because it just used regular bolts, and then this one which prevented that from coming off. The other issue is I'm not having much luck getting this out easily on my oxygen sensor. Doing it by hand has nothing. So I'm having to use a giant breaker bar to move this, because it does not want to move by hand. And it's coming off. But I had a socket, one of the oxygen sensor sockets to use, but that felt like I'd ripped this thing apart by doing it. So using a 22mm wrench with this thing was absolutely necessary. Also, I'm at 240,000 miles, and I don't think I ever replaced this thing on my car, which is 22 years old. So I'm just finally getting around to it. But it's the Upstream oxygen sensor I have to replace. I've got a, I think it was what, P2238 code on my car. But otherwise, I'm almost done. Once I get this out, then the other one will go in easy, hopefully. But it just was a pain in the butt. I had to go to AutoZone and buy the external socket set. If you order it online, it'll be way cheaper. I spent 22 bucks, 23 bucks on this thing. And I was like, I should have just bought one for a little bit cheaper at O'Reilly's, but once I ended up, I was checking a few places like, oh, there's a $14 set. No one had it in stock. So I ended up buying a more expensive set. But at least I know these ones are going to last a long time, so I don't mind buying tools when I need them. I just hate having to buy a set of tools for one bolt. So once I do find, I'm going to check and see if I have regular bolts and just get rid of that. But these are common. These P22, or these E-Torx bolts are used around the engine, so it's not like it's an uncommon bolt that they might use. So I definitely, doesn't hurt to have a set of those, but it's just a pain in the butt to have to buy a set just to remove one bolt. But anyways, almost done. I'll get this off, put my new one on. Relatively easy. There's a bunch of other videos on how to replace the oxygen sensor, but nothing on my model specifically referencing this stupid E-Torx bolt. So anyways, that'll be hopefully that takes care of my code, and then I can take my car in and get inspection done. But it's 22 years old almost this year and 240,000 miles. So I'm still keeping it running and trying to keep it functional. And getting inspection pass means new oxygen sensor. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks. Alrighty, so this was my 2005 Scion TC oxygen sensor upstream install. So I had two parts of the video that I had posted earlier. Well, I hadn't posted yet. I'll see if I can put them all together, but I'm still going to summarize everything in this video in case I just do it as one. First up, I couldn't get the heat shield off. Heat shield had a bolt like this. One of these bolts with a nut on it. This bolt stuck out of here and prevented me from moving the heat shield unless I could remove, I either had to remove the heat shield, remove the O2 sensor, which was right here, or bend this. And I was like, all right, let me just order or buy a set of these Duralast E-Torx bits from AutoZone so I could remove one little bolt. And it's removed, and I'm not going to put it in place. I'm just going to put an old bolt back in place, which I have some extras of. So that was the first pain point of this. Second pain point was, once I got that off, I was able to start using the uninstall, or removing the oxygen sensor on here. But the oxygen sensor, once you look at it, there is like no threads. It basically had seized up entirely. And so I just torqued it out. It twisted out, and it did come out through some form of threads that were on there. But then once I tried to put in my new one, it wouldn't go in because that was completely seized up. So I ended up having to buy a Duratec auto oxygen sensor socket set, which comes with a thread tap for the oxygen sensor. So apparently this is such a common issue with that I'm having to tap in new threads in here, which I'm still working on, but that's what I was at. So basically, once I'm done with that, then I think that should be it. I should be able to install the oxygen sensor, hook it back up to here, which wasn't too painful to remove. There's a few videos about how to remove this, but the main points of this 2005 Scion TC was, one, this old oxygen sensor had seized up and I had to rethread it, and two, I couldn't get the heat shield off without buying some E-Torx or Star socket bits to remove one bolt that was up here. So anyways, I hope this is it, that once this is threaded out and I've got this pulled out, then I'm able to thread this back in there, and that works. So if I can, I'll combine all three videos. If not, this summarizes almost everything I've done. So otherwise, it's a multi-day operation just because I had to order this. Otherwise, you could get it at AutoZone, but I figured it was cheaper. I should have ordered this off Amazon also. So if you know you need it, then order it on Amazon and do it the next day. But if you have to get it, then pay for it, because I could have got this for $10 instead of $23 at AutoZone. But whatever, it'll last me forever. But hopefully I won't need it that often. But there are many bolts that use that stupid E-Torx bit, like these guys, where this one has E-Torx, this one has a bolt, this has E-Torx. And so that was the case with the with that. And also I'll put it on some anti-seize lubricant once I do put it on, the oxygen sensor on, but I'm just going to finish torquing this and get it in, and hopefully the socket will work on it, because it wouldn't. I had the socket for this thing to uninstall the oxygen sensor, the specialty socket, but it wouldn't do anything. I had to brute force the oxygen sensor out because there was basically no threads on there whatsoever. So anyways, and that's the new one. Doesn't look exactly the same. I got the NTK, I believe, version, but hopefully it works. So I'll hook it up and see what happens next.